Welcome to Positive Talk Radio. Our goal is simple: to explore evolving ideas one conversation at a time. So, stay with us as right now we present. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, or wherever you are, or good evening. This is a worldwide publication today because I am sitting here on the west coast of the United States, and our guest today is on the European side of things. Where exactly are you, Christelle?
Well, so I am in Germany,
Okay.
but right now I am at a European contest. So right now I have a lot of people around coming from a little bit everywhere in Europe. So which is really, really nice. But I am French, living in Germany, and usually I am in Frankfurt.
Very nice. One of these days, that's on my bucket list. I'm half German by heritage, and not that I've ever been there, not that I speak German. I tried learning German. I took first year German 3 times. So guten Tag. That's about all I
Guten
got.
Tag. Guten Abend. Also hier it's more guten Abend.
Yes. What time is it there?
Yes, I'm still there. I just see that the connection is a little bit unstable right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did it clear up? Are you there?
I hope I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, then good. So we should just
Yes.
continue on. If now you are a coach and you work predominantly with women to help them lead the lives and create the balance in their life that they would like to have, so that they can live more fully. Is that a fair description?
It's a very fair description. It's really all about finding the purpose and really doing anything to be able to create a career around it, and a profitable one with profit. So I believe it's important, and at the same time to feel happy about all part of life, not only the career part but the private one, if we have children or not, depending. But just to feel good about every aspect of our life, because if one aspect is working but not the other one, it's just not working. And I believe that when everything is working, then it's just perfect life. Whatever it is, it's just perfect.
Yes, it requires life balance. You can't be just a worker or
Yeah.
just a home person. You've got, and I tell you, women have got so many responsibilities. If you've got children, if you've got a husband, if you've got a career, you're trying to keep it all together. It can be daunting for some people, can't it?
It can, and it's really interesting because I have 3 children. So I always I am kind of always thinking, well, when you have no children, it's so easy. But I don't think it's so easy neither. I think it's just different, and the problems are different as well. And but well, the thing is that I am a mom of 3, and I'm French living in Germany, and I can feel that so many women believe that it's not possible to have everything. So it's not possible to have a career, it's not possible to have a family, it's not possible to have maybe extra passion or hobbies or whatever. And I understand why they think it's not possible, but I don't completely agree with that. So I believe that we have to take responsibility. We have to design it. Sometimes it's not easy, but I believe that if we really want to go for it, we can find solutions. That is sometimes the difference between me and some other coaches. We think, well, if you are a mom having children, at some point you have to stop or to reduce the career part during a while, and then you can start again. I don't know. Maybe it's the French part of me, but I don't believe that. and I don't have that, to be honest. So my children, they are between 9 and 13, and I don't have the feeling that I sacrificed my career for them, and I don't believe that I sacrificed them for my career. So, and
I
I
think
help my client having the same feeling.
oh, that's terrific. Tell me about the Freedom Catcher Academy.
The Freedom Catcher Academy, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and is going to see a lot of improvement during the coming months. So if you want to see what's going on, so come on my page, or come to me, because it's going to be easier. Anyway, the Catcher Academy, the Catcher Freedom Academy, it's really like to help people to feel free, to feel energized, to feel good about their life, to feel fulfilled. And I have already few programs into it, but why I'm really excited about it is because now I'm getting some experts working on new programs. So we are working right now on 4 new program. One is starting next month already, and it's all about communication, negotiation, inner communication as well. So that can help you so much on a lot of different of aspects. And then we are going to have another course about the strength, so strength finder, to help you to feel stronger at work and at home. Then we are going to have another course regarding visibility and personal branding. And then we are going to have another course about kicking your ass. So in order to go into actions, and then we have already a few courses about how to find the right career for you, how to have a good functioning and resilient family in order for you to get more space as well, and to be sure that your children and your family has what they need. So all about getting this free feeding and having all the support and the content that you need in order to get there. That's
How
the
did
Freedom
you
Catcher Academy.
that's quite a lot. And when you start talking about it, I can sense the excitement you have with it and how important it is to you. And it's so tell us, how did you how did you go down this road? Where did you decide that you could make, with the blending of the family and the career and all of that, and make it all work? What is your background a little
Okay.
bit?
Well, my background is that I am a chemical engineer. So that's my background. And that's why I am in Germany, because I came as an engineer for France and working in Germany, developing the German mark for a French company, and then going worldwide and so on. And for me, it was clear that you can have everything. And maybe I said, maybe it's the French part in me, because French people or French women usually, they don't think about, should I do career or should I have children? They think that everything is possible. I don't know. It's in the French culture. So for me, it was for sure I can have my children and my career. So that was not complicated to go in this path. But I have seen that in Germany, the mentality is different than the French mentality. That's the first thing. And what I have seen as well is that I wasn't really passionate about my job. It was interesting. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. But at the moment, I felt that I was on the ceiling and I couldn't go further. I really started to feel depressed, and to feel that I had to change something. And I struggled during few years. My husband didn't really wanted me to change, and so I just continue my engineer career, but thinking that it's kind of boring. And at some point, I felt so depressed that I couldn't wake up anymore the morning. I felt that I wasn't so performant at work. The efficiency was not as good as it was. I had the impression that being at work or not would do no difference at all for my employer or anyone, to be honest. So I felt that it was a lot of energy to put in my career, which kind of was empty, and at the same time put a lot of energy into the family to get it running with the work and the balance and so on. And all that for what? So why So the question was always, why do I do that? So I don't really understand. And at the point where I said, okay, I really have to change it, because if I am not changing it, I'm losing myself. I am losing as well. So I'm not the same person with my partner. It was not really working. And I am not the mom that I want to be, because I was so low energy, like really down all the time, and kind of sad. So I had this switch, and it was December 2013. I told myself, okay, that's over. Now I'm going to do what I believe I am good at and what I'm really passionate about. And it was already for a long period of time. And it was coaching. So for me, that was pretty clear that I wanted to go in the coaching. What was difficult for me to find is what kind of coaching. So I started with a lot of mindfulness, meditation, and as well a lot of it for children, because I wanted my children to learn that. And then I moved to parents, and then I moved to, yes, but as a parents, we need to be strong, as we need to feel good about ourselves, and career is important, or what we do during the day. At the end, if someone tells me, and a man or a woman tell me that I don't want to put so much energy in my work, it's really completely fine, as long as they feel good and empowered and fulfilled. I have no problem with that. Yeah, so it's how everything started, from being an engineer to a coach.
Well, it's interesting because your significant other was really not excited about you, because I'm sure it was a comfortable living. It was you made good money as an engineer,
Yeah.
but that wasn't really that didn't make your heart sing, and it really wasn't your passion. Um, was he able to come to terms with that and work through it together?
It seemed that there is about 20 to 30% of the people who really need to feel the purpose into what they do.
Hmm.
Maybe about 60 or 70% of the population, if they don't feel the excitement, it's fine for them. But yes, it seems that there is like 30-20% of the population, they need that. If they don't have the passion, the fulfillment, the purpose, they are dying. And it was my case. So it was really a very long period of time. I wanted to do psychology, or to study psychology, like 3-4 years before, and I told that my husband, and told me, no, it's not a good idea. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm going to do an MBA. But it was really not really my thing. So I didn't really I got the books, but I never really studied for it. So it was not easy, and it's far more risky to be, at the beginning, at least, to be a coach, and self-employment. So, but what I can say, and what I found really, really interesting, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, it's that at the moment I decided um, to take the leap, and to put extra work on me, because I still had my job, I had my children, and on top of that I had to study to get my coaching certification. It took me 2 years, and to study like about 10 hours a week in order to get my certification. So it was extra work. So it was even more complicated than before. In my energy, I could see that even if my life was even complicated than before, just started to ramp up. And I found that really, really interesting. And at that moment, I never had any kind of depression moment anymore. So before that, it was like every year, really feeling the big downs. And now it's more than 10 years, and it's gone.
There is nothing at least in my preference in my world that is as negative as a job that you or a career that you really don't feel passionate about.
Mm.
When that ends, when you're no longer excited about going to work every day, then it becomes
Yeah,
drudgery, and then it becomes difficult. And that's where I think depression creeps in, because it's like, is this all there is? Is this what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? This
exact.
doesn't make me happy. And you know what I'm saying? And I guess I don't know. You're the coach. I guess some people would say, you know, life is hard and it's not meant for you to be happy. You're
My
supposed to.
husband said that.
So life is tough, and you've just gotta work through it, and then someday when you get all your ducks in a row and the kids are off, and just then you'll be able to follow your passion and do whatever you
Exact.
want. But that's not how we are. That's not how we live a fulfilling life. So it's important to for us to feel fulfilled every day with what we're doing, and because that's why we're here, don't you think?
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. And my husband say that, well, life is not a playground or something like that. But I don't agree. So I think it can be.
It can be.
And my other lesson from that is that at the moment I decided to go for my purpose, I had this energy in me. And I started to become more the real me. Before that, I was more like a shadow of myself, like a gray mouse or something like that. And what I can tell is that what I give, or what I started to give to my children at that moment, started to be completely different. The quality of the energy, the attention, the how I solve the problem or how I help them to solve their problem completely changed. And that's why my message usually it's more, do it, because then you are going to give, so to be more happy for sure, and then to give a very nice lesson to the people around you, and eventually the future generation as well. And then you are going to teach them how they can do that as well, how they can believe in their dream. And I believe that when we go to our purpose, our passion, we put even more effort, energy, mental thinking, and then we have more impact because we are more creative. We do the extra mile, and so I believe that if we do, all of us, we go in this direction and we teach that to the other generation, and not necessarily only our children, but any kind of children, then I believe that we could create a better world, because we will be all happier, with more energy and with more passion. And therefore, when we are happier, we are usually more connected to the people, and we have more empathy, we have more space in order to resolve the problem, we are less negative, we are more positive. And that's a very nice ripple effect. And it's not
It,
only like our little career, it's really like an effect on the world and the next generation.
it is, and I'm sure you have had this in your life, that when you made this switch, and there were people that said, "Oh boy, I don't know, what is she doing?"
Yeah.
And then it has become over time has been successful. They see the change in you, and they see how much happier you are. Your children have got a great deal of respect for you because you are happy doing what you're doing. Your relationship is good with them, and all of that. And hopefully your husband came along for the ride, and stuff. But people look at you and go, I want what she's got or what she's doing, because that's what I want to do, but I'm scared to death to do it. And one of the things that you do is you help people lose that fear a little bit, don't you? And to understand that that's the way life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be drudgery and icky and awful and just you have to power through it. It's got to be something that you want, and you do that. So when somebody comes to you, how do you help them? When they come to you and they're where you were 10 years ago, how do you help
Hmm.
them get better?
Well, first of all, usually when people come to me, so they are the energy they have is a little bit low because they feel depressed a bit, they feel insecure, they feel maybe that they are too selfish, or they are a little bit mad eventually because they have a nice position, a nice job, but they are not happy with it. So usually they have this like, everything is bad and I don't feel good, I am secure, I don't know what is my next step. So I help them to have more energy, more flow, to really look at what they can just put away already, like to simplify their life, to have more flow, to have more fun. Because one thing is sure, that when you have this high energy level, so people want to be in contact with you. So when you see a very positive person, a lot with a lot of energy, you say, oh, I want to have the same, or I want to be with this person. And having this high energy level already, that helps you to get some extra opportunities. People just share more, or want you to be in their team, or want you to be part of the project. And sometimes, even if you don't have the right qualification, the right skills, I don't care, I want you. And we will find out how to deal with the lack of, I don't know. So I know that I'm working with the a director of a school in Germany, and so I told him, but maybe you can find someone else, like um, someone really understanding the German school system, in speaking German, has a native speaker, and so on. It's all what I cannot do. I said, no, I want you. Okay. Okay, then okay, then it's fine. So I believe that the energy level, so the charisma that you have, it's a big part. And then you feel good, you feel more confident. That's the first part. The second part, for sure, we look at what is it, what you want to do, what is your best next steps. And it's not a step, because usually my client, they know how to get another job. That's not difficult, but they don't know how to get their one job, the dream job, or how to build a business. So we look at, okay, what they really want to do, what kind of strength, what kind of uniqueness, what kind of impact they want to have, how they can build what they want to build, what kind of steps. Really like doing a roadmap, and looking at, okay, here it's like the kind of resources you need. If you need to go back to school, if you need to have a lot of money, what kind of time, energy, if you need to have some extra knowledges, or some extra partners maybe. So we look at all that. So that's the second point. And the last point, we look at how to get visible, how to negotiate, how to go and speak to the right person, how to be visible as well on, for instance, LinkedIn, um, that people come to you because they have seen who you are and what you do. So that's the three steps. So the flow, reorganizing the life, and finding the right idea, putting a roadmap, and then after that, the implementation, how to get there and to get visible, and to negotiate what you want to negotiate, whatever it is.
Which part do you find people most resistant to?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, which of those pillars that you're talking about do you find that people are the most resistant to? Is it the change? Is it the reorganization of the life? Is it the finding out what your passion is? And which one do you think it is?
It's really difficult to say, because it's very personal. So for some of them, it's really working on their energy level, because they have a lot of limiting beliefs, and they have a lot of stories in their life that stop them. So for some of them, it's really demanding to go through the first part, the flow, and trying to readjust everything, and yeah. So for some of them, sometimes it's that's the biggest part, where they think, wow, that was a haha moment, that was a thing where I thought, woo, just because of that, it was worth worth it. For some of them, that is really easy. They don't really have big problem. They just to adapt some things and whoop. So we go directly to the second part, and it's where they have more difficulty sometimes to be a little bit more creative. So my client, usually they are academics, so they used to work during 10, 15, 20 years in a high level of performance, and it's difficult for them to sometimes think out of the box and to think they can do something different, and they would lose their status as well, the social level where they are at. Like, I was engineer before and now I am a coach, and for some people, like, engineering is very high level and coach is kind of low level, and they have the difficulty to go down in the social level, which I never felt like that. But I know that a lot of people told me about it.
Well, and also when you look at the right brain and the left brain and what operates a person, an engineer operates completely differently than a coach, because you use different parts of your brain, because an engineer wants a schematic and they want everything to line up and everything to be the way it's supposed to be, in
You're right.
like a machine. It's supposed to be this way. But when you're a coach, the human animal is not a machine, and everyone
No.
is different, and we have different things that, so just making that transition from an engineer to a coach is a big deal, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, I am still kind of engineer in my way of thinking. So that means that I have processes. So, but so I have this structure. So in my mind. So, but sometimes people like it because I have the how I explain sometimes about emotions is so it's so systematic somehow, or I explain that in a very I don't know how to say that, a very clear way, very simplified way, and without judgment. So maybe not like a machine, but like it's facts. So you have this emotion and that is a fact and that's good, so we are going to work with it, and then we go step by step through the process. And yeah, so people kind of like it because it's very clear. I have a very clear way of putting things together, or taking the emotions and playing with them around, and it's kind of reassuring as well, like, okay, it
Mhm.
can be easy, and speaking about emotions doesn't have to be heavy, even if the emotions are sometimes heavy, but the process itself can be very easy and simple, and polite, and yeah. So it's a little bit how I proceed. Yeah, a little bit like step by step, and we go through the process, and it's going to be fine. And if you need some extra processes, we are going to find some extra processes. But at the end of the journey, you are going to find what you want.
And there are so many people that use the stories that they have created over time, that interrupt their growth and stop them from getting what they really want. And I know that you work with people in regards to their stories, to get them to recognize that they're nothing more than stories. They're what you told yourself, and they may not be even true. And so to rise above things, you find that to be true as well.
Yeah, yeah. I love working with stories. So it's so important. I just had a call before and we went into the stories again. So stories are so important because stories are what makes us. So because our stories of the past, so we are the person that we are, with the sensibility that we have, with why we have these values is because of our stories. Why that is important and that is not important is because of our stories. So that's very, very important because we understand us better, and as well we understand why we can be better at some things than others because of our stories, because of the energy we put it into it. And sometimes indeed, so that helps us as well um, to see that, okay, we had these stories, but we can go over it, and
Hmm.
we can be proactive and not just reactive of these stories. What I teach my clients is really to go more into the like the hero mode and less in of the victim mode, because we all
Yes.
have that, the victim mode. So we all, I know that for a few years ago I told I did a coaching group for a weekend, and then I told them, oh, what I want to improve, for me it's like being less of a victim and not complaining all the time. And they look at me and they, you never complain. I say, yeah, well, you don't know what's going on in my mind. So I think in my mind I complain kind of too much somehow. So we all have that, and again, it's fine. But when we are aware about it, so we can overcome it, and then a lot of very nice things can happen. So the story is working on the story is so important.
Absolutely. By the way, if somebody would like to contact you, let's get your website out, which is,
It's my name, so it's 3W dot christellepilot.com.
see, I
Can
wanted
you
you to
spell
say
it
your
for
name
me?
so that, huh?
Can you spell it for me? My
No.
So I have to
Shoot.
do the work.
Yes, that's exactly. You've got, uh, um, so say your name one more time.
So Christelle, it's Christellellat.
Ellepilot. So it's
Thank you.
Chris, Christelle, Pilot.
Yeah,
Pilot. And
yeah.
it's a beautiful name. Beautiful name. And
Thank you.
that's a French name, yes?
Very French, yeah.
Yes. And you also speak, how many languages do you speak?
On a regular basis, three. So I speak like kind of everyday English, German, and French. I speak French with my children, German with my husband, English and German and French over there,
So does
and a
your
little bit
husband,
of Spanish,
oh, Spanish is, that's
a
an,
bit.
yes, you pick up Spanish, and then your next one would be Chinese, and then you got us
No,
covered.
Chinese. I could a little bit long time ago because I spent some time in China, but now it's all no, it's over.
So your
Next,
husband's,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to say next life.
So your husband speaks German, your children speak French. How does that go?
Well, my husband is German, so my children speak German and French as a mother tongue. The family language is German, so I speak German with my husband. My husband doesn't really speak French, so that's why. So, but I wanted my children to speak French, so that's why I speak French with the children. And sometimes then I speak German because my husband is in the room, so I want him to understand. So
Right.
communication is can be a little bit complicated at home sometimes.
It surely, well, yeah, we over here we speak English, and we don't even do that very well. So but I think it's great that the kids are multilingual, and are learning different languages and stuff. And now I've always heard, and I'm half German, so I'm just kind of curious. Typical German male, are they as stoic and as off not warm and not fuzzy type of people? Is that a caricature that should be dispelled, or is that kind of a cultural thing?
Well, that's difficult because if I answer, so I don't know if my husband is going to listen to this podcast.
Well,
But
well, the present company excluded, is so,
um, well, German people are kind of cold anyway, even women. For at the first, so the first contact is always a little bit cold, and they don't smile very easily. Um, yeah, so my my husband is kind of stoic and doesn't really share a lot about his emotions. If every German people are like that, no. So I believe that some of them are a little bit warmer somehow.
Well, people are people, but there are, as an example, the reason I ask is that my mother grew up in a first generation German home. They had migrated over here, and then they had her. Well, because of how they view things and how my grandfather viewed things, he was very stoic and very, this is the one way, and this is, and wasn't really a very loving man. So he wasn't able to give her that kind of experience growing up. So that was became difficult for her later in life because of her, um of the situation that she found herself at home. So I was just curious from a personal standpoint if it was just him, or is that kind of a cultural thing. So I'm glad it was.
Well, I don't know, but like it might be a little bit German, but like my husband, so when he found something like I have a new clothes or something like that, and then he will say, that's interesting, and interesting is kind of positive for him. So I never have much more than that. And this week I just cut my hair, and then he said something like, "Oh, it looks nice." And I was really shocked because it's not so frequently that you would say something like that. And one of my son was there and just looked at me like, "Oh, Papa just said something really positive, like it looks nice." So yeah,
well i'm
German people are a little bit more like, well, not too much.
I am so glad that he said it looks nice, because it does look very nice,
Thank
um
you, thank
and
you.
stuff.
But I
uh
must say that my father is kind of the same, and he's French. So
and it may be European men in general, because when you think about it,
yeah,
the difference between Germany and France, I mean, they're very close together, and they're right next to each other, and stuff. And so, it's like in the United States. I don't know how much you spent time here, but it takes forever to go from even one state to another.
yeah,
Whereas in Germany, you can go, or in France, you can go and go to Spain, and you can go to Italy, and you can go all of these places
yeah.
in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's what's really, really nice in Europe. Me and my one of my brothers, so we traveled a lot. So my brother is like a typical expat, so traveling all around the place and being in US and Australia and so on. And then at some point we came back to the conclusion that we wanted to go out of Europe, but Europe is a really, really nice place to be because of these different kind of culture and languages. And then you just have to drive maybe like 3 hours, and then you are in other country with other tradition, languages, and so on. So it's and it's the same for the landscape. So you have the mountain and you have the sea and so on. So I think Europe is really for that. It's really, really nice. It's kind of unique. So yeah.
I gotta ask you, because I don't know. I've never been to Europe. I intend to get there one of these days. But now, do you have to have a passport that, or that can take you from country to country? Are the borders open between like NATO countries and the Western Europe and stuff, so that you can go from country to country without having to show your papers every 3 hours?
Yeah, now, yes. 20 years ago, it was different. But now, yes, you can really drive. Or, yeah, you can, like when I go back to France, I don't have to show anything. There is no border really. We can see. where it was before, and you just have now, like, okay, now you are in France, or now you are coming in Germany. But now you don't have to show anymore your paper. You have to do that when you go to Switzerland, because Switzerland is not EU. So, and there, so you have to show your paper. For that, you have to have some, yeah, well, not yeah, well, not really. So maybe they will ask you, but even there, it's fine.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good, very good.
yeah,
And then you've got the channel, right? That you can go from underneath the channel to
yes,
England,
yeah,
and
exactly,
I'm,
exactly. So my father helped to for this project. So I didn't take it for a long period of time, but as it started, it was really. I remember as I was 19, so I had to go to New Zealand, to Newcastle. So it's really north of England, and it took me 11 hours to go through per train from the home of my parents to Newcastle, but we only with the train. So that
ah,
was funny. Yeah.
oh, very, very good. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I really admire the coaching work that you're doing. And let's go over your information one more time to make sure everybody gets it, and they go talk to you. You have the Freedom Catcher Academy. You're a coacher. You're a coacher. Good Lord, you're a coach. You're a trainer, and you help people live their best life and to make balance a and balance is not a dirty word. It is something that we all can have in our life so that your personal life balance and your work life balance can work together and you can live your life with the passion that you were really I'm firmly convinced that we were designed by whomever to live our lives with passion and with and to use our gifts because we've all got different gifts, which is exciting.
Exactly. I mean, if we cannot do that, so why are we here, and what is the purpose of our life? And I believe that we have only one life, so why not trying to do the best with it? And the best is where you have the best impact somehow, and then it's where you are more passionate. And I believe that we are in a world where we have this luxus to be able to do that. In some other country, so they really have to work in order to eat at the end of the day. So we have the possibility to do that. And for all the people that they don't have the possibility, I believe that we should take it and leverage it. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. We are very gifted to being
Mm.
able to. We don't live on $3 a day.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
we have to worry about what are we going to eat for dinner today? What are our kids going to eat?
Yeah,
We're very fortunate, and we need to take advantage of that,
exact.
um, so that we can live our lives because all of us have got talents that some of us don't want to show what those talents are, but if that's their passion, be it painting or writing or doing poetry or being a musician or being a talk show host or being a coach or whatever you should always follow your heart, follow your passion, and good things will
Yeah.
happen.
And it can be being an engineer as well. My
Yeah,
husband is an engineer and he loves his job, and just told me about one project this week, and okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm really happy for him too. So it's
yeah.
good to be engineer or to be something like that as
If
well. Yeah.
if you are have as an example, when earlier in my life I was a restaurant manager and I loved
Mm,
being a restaurant manager. I loved the interaction with my customers, with my employees, bringing it all together. It was like having a party on a Friday night, that we were hosting all of these people that wanted to come and have a good time. And all I had to do was to make sure they had a good time. And
mm,
then everybody was happy. And that,
yeah.
for me, that was a very fulfilling job. Some
Yeah.
people would say, "Oh man, you're a restaurant manager. That's a lot of hours and hard work, and it's a pain in the butt." But that wasn't that way for me. So find your passion, whatever it is, and use
Exactly.
Christella to help you find your passion, and she can do that. So go to her website again, which is Christella Pillot at. Hey, I said that not too bad. It is Ristelle, or no, Pillot.com. And you've got a beautiful website, by the way. And there's a quiz that you can
Thank
take
you.
to
Yes, exactly.
if you have a question about the job that you have and whether it's a good fit for you. You can take that quiz and then call her and have her explain to you what it meant and stuff.
Yes, it can be like sometimes, we just have to do a small step, a little one. And so that can be one step just to go to a brighter future. So to call me and to have a casual chat, and then we never know.
Yep, and you work with people worldwide,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
which is really kind of fun. It's got to be.
I love that. So I this week I was in contact with people from Slovenia, from US. I have client in China, in Europe a lot for sure, in US as well. Yeah, people, and what is really interesting sometimes is like I have people in. Like in Switzerland, but coming from UK, or people in Germany, but coming from India, or people in US, but coming from France, or and so on. So they travel all around the globe. So it's really nice to to catch up with them, and then it's like a very global view as well when we are in this community. Um, it's really really interesting.
I think the more that we look at the global view versus the local view, the more caring and loving that we can be because we recognize that everybody's the same. That we're,
Yeah, we have the same needs. Yeah, the same emotions. I agree.
you know,
And now we can work remote, so that's opened a lot of opportunities and possibilities.
indeed, and it's going to continue that way, I think.
Yeah.
And with AI coming on board and all that kind of, it's going to be, and the next several years are going to be very interesting. Well, before we go, is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience? I'll step aside and you tell them anything that you would like them to know.
Maybe one thing, because I just looked again at Positive Talk Radio, but I think that's very very important. So to have positive people around you, to hear positive talk, to look at this kind at podcasts, so helping you to figure out that you are not alone in this kind of journey, that you are not alone thinking this way, and when we understand that the problem that we have are normal problems, that other people have the same, then we start to look at solutions. And I would say, yeah, so listen to positive people, to positive talk, to positive talk podcasts or radio, and that's going to be a very very first nice step as well in order to go in the right direction.
Why, thank you very much for saying that. I really appreciate it. But
You're
that
welcome, I
is
believe it.
that is the whole reason why I do this is that
Hmm.
I want to put out positive stuff and create and bring positive people to others that may not have access
Yeah.
to someone like you, and you can help them. And even if they are not feeling like they're in the financial situation, they can review this broadcast and they can listen to a different way of being, and that can help them get on their
Yeah,
road.
and we can always find solutions. So
Yes.
when we start, so then there is ways, there is solutions, there is
Yes.
always a way.
I implore everybody, and I think that you'll agree with this. Everybody at one point in their life looks at themselves and says, "Is this all there is? And what do I really want to do? Why am I
Exact.
really here?"
I have a sad story, to be honest. Last year, I asked, so in one of my course, I asked this question. So if you would die in 6 months, so what would you do? And I asked this question. It was January, and a client of mine, so she went through the process, and 3 months later, she told me that she had been doing 4, 5, 6 months looking at. She had some trouble, and she just went through a diagnosis, and I I don't think that she's going to make it until next year. So she's dying, and she told me that she went to the surgeon, and the surgeon told her, well, maybe you have to really like do your bucket list, and because you are not going to live for a long period of time now. And she told him, I have it already, because I have done that with my coach, and it's good because I am already in exactly where I wanted to be in my life. So for me, the lesson of this story is that as she started to do my program, she wanted to build a coaching business, and it happened that life is not always fair, and then she has to leave the earth now, more or less. So we don't have time. We really have to do that now and not tomorrow, because we don't know what is going to be tomorrow. In her case, she thought that she would have years, and then she discovered that she only had months left. So I believe that we really, really have to take right now the step we should take, because we never know.
You don't. You don't know when your time is, and
Yeah,
and it's important for you to fulfill the mission that you came here to do, and whatever that is. And sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need help to help you understand what that is, so that you can get through all the roadblocks and all the stories and all the
yeah,
things
quicker.
that, that you block your passion. And
Mm.
so sometimes it is very advantageous. Well, most times everybody that I know has a coach.
I agree. I agree. It's so a cliche, but I didn't want to believe that. But I do have my coaches now as well.
Of
And
course you do.
at the beginning, I was like, no, I'm going to do by myself, because I am kind of an autodidact, and I love to learn by myself. But it's just quicker, and even alone there is so many things I'm not sure that we can really find out, because we are stuck in our minds. So the coach is outside, and can really read the bottle outside of the bottle. So yeah, definitely. So it's a cliche, but it's true. When you hire a coach, it's just you go quicker, faster, and higher.
Well, and your coach is liable to tell you something that you had not even considered,
Yeah,
because you are blocking it. And then it can open up in a very quick and amazing way. So
yeah,
so
you're
go
right. Yeah.
go talk to Christella and Pilot, and .com, by the way. And
By the way.
I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late where you are, and it's time for you to go rest now.
Well, now I'm going back to the competition, because I am a hip hop competition. It's the European hip hop competition right now, and I am kind of training as well the kiddies there. So but they have done great today. So tomorrow and after tomorrow we are continuing, and then we are going to go to the world competition, which is going to be in August. So
Well,
yeah, a lot of
congratulations.
energy around.
You're stepping out and living your life large. That's the way it should be. Again,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. And if you'll wait right there, I will be right back. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to one another, because each other's all we got.